My brother had a cancer scare, but my entitled grandmother managed to make it all about her.
It's not always about you, Grandma.
Hello, I'm new here and have many stories to share about my grandma. She is a C word, to put it simply. I have many stories to share about her, some my own and some my mom's. She was the definition of a mother-in-law from HE double hockey sticks, but that's not here or there. But I do have a story that is making my blood boil. She will now be called EG, entitled grandma. We're going to call her grandma because I refuse to acknowledge her as my flesh and blood. Okay, maybe we should have a different name for EG. I'm just going to say grandma for simplicity.
Grandmama.
Grandmama.
By the way, this comes from Acrobatic Bug 64. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So recently, my brother, 22 male, developed a strange lump in his neck. This had been a month-long ordeal. So I will begin at the beginning. Upon receiving this news, my brother's first reaction was just to call my mother and dad, allowing them to spread the news if they wanted to. My mom told her mom so they could send him food, clothes, money, etc. My grandmother didn't become aware of this until about a week or so ago, mostly because she wasn't going to do anything but pester. After the initial acknowledgement of the possibility of cancer, she proceeded to call my brother and yell at him for not telling her first. How could you not tell me about your cancer?
I want to know about your cancer first. Like, you're so selfish.
She accused him of being selfish.
Oh, that's crazy. What a wild thing to say.
For keeping this diagnosis from her, a nurse.
Oh, what's she gonna do? Does she have the cure to cancer?
Boom.
And shut your mouth.
I find this stupid because she's a CNA. No insults to CNA. You guys do wonderful work. My family is a family of nurses and doctors. Heck, my brother is going to medical school himself. Not to mention, her being a nurse does not entitle her to no personal information about us. We didn't want to tell extended family yet because we weren't sure if it was cancerous or a cyst. We didn't want to create unnecessary worry. Throughout the month, she had been calling and texting him non-stop. When he didn't respond, she would blow up my phone and my brother's phone. I don't live with my brother, and admittedly, I don't have much contact with him, so I don't know why she called me 45 times within 2 days. That is basically 1 time per hour.
45 times within 2 days?
Those are rookie numbers. Get those up.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I had to block her number so I could get through school without my phone constantly buzzing in my pocket. She finally stopped when my dad stepped in and forced her to. We hadn't heard from her much during that time, or at least so I thought. We had to go over to where my dad lives so my brother could have it removed. Insurance problems were the reason we couldn't stay in town. It was just supposed to be my dad, my mom, and me. I was mostly there for my mom because I didn't want her to be alone. When we let family know, Grandma decided to call my brother and demand he go to Mayo Rochester for a second opinion. We didn't even have the first opinion yet. All we knew was that the lump had to be taken out. It hadn't even been biopsied or sent to pathology. She kept insulting the hospital we were going to and claiming that Rochester was so much better. It was not. It was just further. We were going to Bell End, or Infinity by Bell End. This made my dad angry because he works at the hospital, and it's Bell End. My dad called her and told her to shut the F up. Silence. We were hoping that would be it. Guess what, guys?
It never is.
It wasn't.
Of course not.
It wasn't the end. The initial trip was supposed to be a 3.5-day trip, leaving Tuesday night for the hospital and leaving Friday afternoon. It was just going to be the 4 of us. However, in true grandma fashion, she decided to butt into the situation once more. She announced on Facebook, of all places, that she will be going to her grandbaby's surgery to be there for him and that they should pray for her, not him.
She's like, pray for me that I may get through these trying times, not anyone else.
This is going to be
Don't
really...
even think about praying for my son.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard on me. Like, I'm going to have to watch him be in bed. I'm just going to be at a hospital for 3.5 days. That's tough.
She's like, I'll vlog from inside. I'll text you guys updates.
We were not aware she was coming until that announcement a day before we had to leave. We set it up and just tried to keep things nice and stress-free for my brother. When we arrived, it was smooth at first. First night, we got dinner and discussed plans for the next day. My brother had a CT at 9:15 and then a consultant for surgery at 11:30. Afterwards, we were going to wander around the city and enjoy ourselves. The first part of our plans went well. We got up to breakfast and then went to the CT appointment. I was originally going to meet my stepmom there, and we were going shopping and getting some things for post-surgery. However, grandmother met us at the hospital. At the first appointment, she began demanding to take my mom's spot in the appointment room, saying she had a lot more right to be there in that room because she knew more than my mom did.
What? That's so stupid. That logic makes no sense. Like, if someone's sick, only the nearest doctor in your family is the only one that can be in there.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom, you can't be in there. My third cousin is a doctor, so
hierarchy.
Hierarchy. He's got to be in there.
It doesn't go by closeness. It goes by education.
Doctor.
Experience.
If you have a doctorate.
Dude, if you had a doctorate, you could do anything.
I could do anything, man.
I can give people drugs. Here you
can
go.
do that now.
I don't want to follow this footsteps.
Footsteps? Whose footsteps?
I don't think she knows. My mother, the mother of my brother. Before my mom could say anything, my brother put his foot down, which shut grandma up for a bit. She pouted in the corner while my brother and my parents went into the appointment with him. The appointment took about an hour or so. My stepmom and I began getting ready to go shopping for a bit, catching up and deciding where to go. Grandma stepped in and demanded that we stay or invite her along. We denied her, saying that we wanted it to just be us, and I hadn't seen my stepmom in a while. Then the conversation took a turn for the worst. She began calling me a disappointment for not thinking of my grandmother and how I was just such an ungrateful brat. She ranted about how she would be unalive to spend another moment with her grandmother and how I never know. She might just drop passed away.
She might just drop.
She just might drop. She started demanding why I didn't defend her and why I blocked her. I was not in a good mood. After years of abuse from this hag, the burnout of high school, and the fact that it was 9 o'clock in the morning, I simply replied in with a short tone, if you dropped passed away right now, I couldn't care less.
Dang.
And then turned on my heel with my mom and went shopping.
Ooh. OP did like a little, if you passed away right now, I couldn't care less. She did like a passed away drop.
What do you gift dead people?
What do you gift them?
Yeah.
Is this a joke?
Well, they're going shopping, so she could probably pick up grandma something. I could give her like some coffin earrings.
You could give her some flowers.
There
for
you
your
go.
grave.
Exactly.
Ooh.
After the CT, we decided to go out as a family until the next appointment. Grandma took this opportunity to take control. She started directing us places she wanted to go, places she thought my brother would like, and she kept asking my brother to buy things for her.
Your brother has cancer?
Because apparently this situation was just as hard on her as it was on my brother. What?
Oh my lord.
Hey, can you buy me something? Why are we telling our grandkids to buy us stuff?
Buy me something, because your cancer is really bringing me down.
That makes no sense at all.
None.
My stepmom and I double-teamed grandma whenever she started pestering my brother over the smallest things. Like, she wasn't allowed in the appointment. We separated them quickly and ended the conversation before it escalated. Finally, it was time for the second appointment instead of shopping. I sent the appointment time doing schoolwork and I was missing a few days. Not to mention, I was emotionally drained from trying to parent a boomer. Grandma started pestering me, though this time she was a bit nicer, asking about school and such. I began talking about my plans for senior year in college. She then started trying to tell me what I should do with my life, that I should follow my father's footsteps, become a respiratory therapist, or something better yet, a CNA like her. I told her no, that I planned to become either a psychologist or a physical therapist. That was final. She pouted and then started telling me what classes I should take for my senior year, insisting my schedule would be too hard for me. She said that sometimes it was a bit of a slow and might not be able to handle calculus and physics at the same time. I bit my tongue and ignored her. She got angry at me for ignoring her, and all I could muster was, this is why no one wants you around.
OP is not taking any freaking crap, man.
Dude, I
She's
don't
like,
blame
this is
her.
why everyone hates you.
This is why you should just go ahead and drop dead.
She would say that, though.
She did.
She did say that, though, yeah.
That shut her up for a while. Finally, lunchtime came and we went to my brother's restaurant choice. Dude, it's now lunch.
Dang, you had a long day ahead of you. He's just now lunch.
Oh my God.
You got a long day ahead of you.
Oh. Grandma complained about the restaurant and then tried to tell us what to order. When she heard I had ordered enchiladas, she started ranting about my cholesterol and weight, saying, you know, a fat PT is a bad PT. I moved seats, leaving her alone at the end of the table. When the waiter came, she tried to change my order to a salad. My mom stepped in and told her to shut the F up.
Nobody likes this grandma. I love that everyone's just like, shut the F up, grandma.
Shut up.
Drop dead, grandma. And the grandma's like,
Shut up. Oh, I'm burnt.
It's too hot. No one is dealing with this grandma's crap, man. The grandma's like, you should change your career to mine. And everyone's like, shut up. Jesus, grandma.
We're treating her like Jerry from Parks and Rec, but she deserves this. My dad gave her the glare of doom. She finally shut up. That night, she pestered me to stay at her hotel. I refused, not wanting to leave my mom alone. She tried to drag me away by arm, calling me a brat. I pulled away and called her an effing hag. The next day, we learned she had gone home because she knows when she's not wanted. Doubtful. She sent us all a long string of texts saying how disappointed she was in us for not respecting her and how stressed she was about my brother's possible cancer. I ignored her. The rest of the trip went well. My brother's surgery went well. Luckily, it was just benign.
Benign. Sorry, I didn't know where you were looking.
Luckily, it was just benign.
Were you thinking beignet?
Sure, I don't know. I just did my best of trying to say it. Yeah, I was gonna say Ben-Gwyn, like penguin, Ben-Gwyn. That was my first guess, but I knew that was absolutely wrong.
It just means that it's not harmful. There's malignant tumors and benign tumors.
Now he has a wicked scar from where his lymph node was removed. And I still have grandmother blocked. Guys.
Yeah, someone says, Teacher Yo says, I can't imagine this type of relationship with a grandparent. True. Like, everyone hates this grandma so much.
What caused her to be so...
But it's also because I feel like sometimes you have a relationship with we read stories where a grandparent's terrible and one person's like, oh, like, no one gets it. Everyone keeps telling me to be nice to my grandma. But every family member in this story has been like, shut up, grandma.
That's too damn bad.
And guys, this is just one part of grandma trying to make everything about herself. We have another update. And it is titled, My Grandma Tried to Ruin the Wedding, because it wasn't all about her. We got another update. After this incident, I mean, I know OP blocked her, but what about the family? Like, what does the family do?
Everyone blocks the grandma.
Really?
No.
Everyone blocks grandma?
I don't think everyone
lives
can
a
block
life
grandma.
alone.
Bye, grandma.
In silence.
know.
Grandma just seems kind of annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like everyone needs to block her. She just sounds like really annoying.
True.
Just like ignore her a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you do? I mean, it's family. It's just like the cards you're dealt, you know?
Duchess Cassandra says they just invite her to everything and rag on her. Literally.
She's just the butt of the joke.
Yeah, like she comes to they're like, hey, grandma, come over. And then they're like, grandma, you freaking suck.
Noted. We might have to have a conversation about the next story. But guys, here's the next story. This is the update to this about the same grandma.
Same grandma.
My entitled grandmother tried to ruin the wedding because it wasn't all about her.
Maybe grandma needs to get married.
My dad was around 27 and my mom 25. They'd been together for 3 years and wanted to tie the knot. Grandma wasn't a big fan of my mom from the beginning, mostly because my mom didn't let her walk all over her to an extent, but also because my mom had an ex-fiance and wasn't a virgin, which is funny because neither was my dad.
Yeah, but she just hates women.
Yeah. Also, like, how does she know that?
Yeah, who was having that conversation? She was like, are you a virgin? And Opie's mom was like, that's not your business. And she's like, well, there we have it. There's my answer.
I guarantee you, Opie, the grandma's like, I am. That doesn't make sense, Grandma. I am.
Yes, I am. Immaculate Conception.
I'm the Mother Mary.
Mother Mary. It first began when she ruined the proposal. My dad proposed at a nice dinner party with family involved, so everyone would be there. My mom knew about the proposal because she had picked out the ring. She just didn't know when it would happen. Grandma thought it would be a good idea to spoil the proposal by declaring my uncle's deployment date right after. It didn't work. She got chewed out by my dad later. Like, hey, these people are gonna get married. This guy is out of here.
Yeah. They're like, OP's dad is like, would you make me the happiest man on earth? And Grandma's like, he's going to the army.
This guy's going to Vietnam.
He's going to Vietnam.
He's on his way to Nam.
Bummer for him. You guys are getting married while this man fights a war? And then they're like, Grandma, shut up.
Great timing. Great timing, Grandma. However, throughout the dinner, she was making sly comments about the ring being too fancy and my mom being shallow for wanting such a nice ring. I've seen the ring. It's one diamond with a twist band, far from big, far from fancy. After my mom didn't react to the ring comments, she began to go after my mom's weight. This is her low. She always goes after people's weights. The dinner was AT double hockey sticks. When my parents went home, They didn't talk much. Then the planning went to heck. My mom and dad wanted to be married within a year of the proposal, mostly due to finances and because my mom wanted to start having children. My grandma disagreed. They were moving too fast. And when my mom mentioned her plan for children, all of a sudden, she was too old for me having kids. Mind you, she even said that if my mom wanted children, she should have stayed with her ex-fiance instead of marrying her son. Keep in mind, my mom was 25, and if they got married, she'd be 26. Then grandma began telling her to stop pursuing her career because it would be easier just to be a stay-at-home wife, especially if she wanted kids. My mom didn't stop her career. She ended up just ignoring grandma for the most part, ignoring phone calls, texts, and messages, which caused grandma to have a conniption fit and go crying to my dad. Here's the response. Okay.
Oh, grandma.
Her behavior continued throughout the wedding planning. Everything had to be her way. The church was never right. The arch, the dates, the guest list. She tried to convince my parents to push back their wedding to fit her and her friends' schedules. And when my mom denied her friends from coming, she threatened not to attend. My parents budged only slightly, mostly with the church because my mom wasn't particularly attached to one. Grandma tried to convince them to get married in her church. The problem? My parents lived in Michigan, up, while my grandma lived in Wisconsin, down. The church was also incredibly small. It was a town of under 2,000 people. Yeah, that's a small town.
Dang, man.
While my mom and dad had a small wedding with only family and a handful of friends, it still wouldn't have fit my mom's side. Grandma witched and moaned about not having the wedding at her church until my grandpa shut her up, saying he'd go without her.
No one likes grandma.
Yeah, dude. Grandpa's not even having
Miss Jaber said everyone is so dumb with her crap.
Like, how do you entertain this? How do you stay around this?
But none of them, they're just like, oh, grandma, shut up. Shut up, grandma.
Get out of here.
Oh, man.
Wedding dress shopping came around. My mom wanted simple pale colors for bridesmaids, and guests could wear neutral colors. The wedding party was in pale greens and pinks to accent her dress. She had a beautiful gown laced with a puffy skirt and a veil, corset, and flowy sleeves. Grandma didn't like the dress. My mom hadn't invited her to wedding dress shopping. She didn't invite her own mother either, since she lived in Florida, and just had her bridesmaids there. Grandma was infuriated. How dare she not invite her own mother-in-law? Well, technically, you're not the mother-in-law yet. And other technically, you live very far away. And another technically, I don't like you.
And there you have it. Facts from Riley. Facts from Riley with glasses. Riley's alternate persona.
I don't know how to perceive you with glasses.
Where's my glasses?
Wait,
My glasses.
I
Where are
can
my
show you a
glasses?
picture with me with glasses.
I could just get my glasses, but I would have to get up.
I'm going to find... a
Lucy Smith
little
says,
lady.
Grandma doesn't like anything, apparently. Yup. Grandma's got problems with everything, and everyone's just tired. Just really tired of it.
She's tired of everything.
Like, what do you do? What do you do with you just, what kind of life is it to be the grandma, though, you know?
Try so hard to be so... Ugh.
Yeah, and everyone hates you. Like, that's such a sad life. Even your own husband is sick of you. Honestly, I feel bad for this grandma.
I've seen Riley in glasses. It's out there.
Is the joke that you were wearing glasses and you've seen Riley?
You slap her. Didn't my mom know that my aunt never invited grandma to dress shopping either? Wonder why. And that she had always dreamed of picking out a dress for her daughter and daughter-in-law? My mom broke her heart. Then she saw the dress. Her lips pursed. Her eyes widened. She began tearing into it, saying it made my mom look like a witch. And how dare she wear white and lie to God?
Here's all the virgin talk again.
She said it looked like it came out of a dumpster, that it didn't flatter her, that she looked like a sausage. My mom was so close to returning the dress because she no longer felt beautiful in it. And so my grandma, her mom, dug into entitled grandma, making her go crying to my dad like a beaten puppy. Entitled grandma cooled down for a little while. She stopped going after my mom and instead went after my dad. For the most part, my dad has always been the quiet, stoic type. His way of dealing with his mom was agreeing with her, but never actually doing what she said. You should have this selection of wine and beer. Okay, doesn't do it. You should do this for the tables. Okay, doesn't do it.
That's so funny.
You should say this. Okay,
Okay.
doesn't do it.
Okay.
He's just K-ing IRL.
He's like, sure.
Yep.
That's maybe the best way to do it, because then she feels like she's getting heard, but you're not actually doing any of it.
Yikes. Dude, this grandma.
Oh, bother, this grandma.
This method was rather effective at times. However, as she felt she wasn't getting her way, her nagging got worse. She became more bold and started calling caterers and florists to change my parents' plans. Guys, and that's why we have what?
Passwords.
Passwords. That's why we have passwords with our florists, our caterers, everyone for our
Passwords.
weddings.
Passwords.
Because you don't know who's after you.
Anyone could be after you at all times. Watch your back.
Even your
You're not
grandma.
safe. Ah,
You're not safe.
No one's
Guys.
safe.
Always have passwords for your caterers. I'm going to get reading the story and we'll fix it. My mom and my dad had told them ahead of time, don't change anything unless you hear it from us. After a few calls of fighting, arguing, and shouting, she stopped. Mostly because my dad threatened to uninvite her if she kept going at this. Her nagging went from the wedding workers to him. She nagged him so much that he had to go to ER for severe migraines and headaches. Twice. What? It was that bad?
Ay.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, if she's just in your ear going, come on, you have to do this, you have to do this, we need more of this. And it's like, oh my God, I have a headache.
I'm done. I'm out of there. So, finally, the wedding came. It was going to happen the way my parents wanted. She could make petty comments and remarks, but she wasn't going to ruin this day for my mom. Well, ... As you all know, she's the pain in the old rooster. So you could probably see this coming from a mile away. She wore a wedding dress to the wedding.
Grandma.
This is the ultimate
Grandma.
thing that you cannot do. What do we not wear at a wedding, Sophia?
Wedding dresses.
And what else?
White.
Whites. We never wear whites. No matter if the bride tells you, no matter if the groom tells you, no matter whoever tells you, never wear whites.
It ain't that hard.
And no one told you. And why? This is not your wedding. Are you going to get married to your son?
Yeah, you freak. You freak.
This is the worst thing you can do.
I'm back. I'm so big now.
Sophia. In fact, Grandma wore the same wedding dress she had wanted my mom to wear. She even arrived with a little entourage of guests, also in wedding dresses. She brought a crew!
She pulled up with the entourage. Grandma, how do you have any friends? Grandma? No one seems to like you. How did you find these friends? Did you pay for them? Grandma, be honest. Did you pay for these friends? Because that's embarrassing.
She brought a group
She brought the
of
entourage.
people. Also, if we're going by your standards, you shouldn't be wearing white at a wedding either, girl.
That's true. Go wear red.
Wear black. It's somebody's funeral.
That's true. That would have been pretty iconic.
My dad took one look at them, walked away, and had her friends punted out. Grandma stayed because trying to punt her out would have caused the cops to be called and more headaches than they wanted. The wedding continued, but Grandma wasn't allowed in photos. That was my dad's first wedding. My mom says divorcing my father was such a relief because she could finally get away from his crappy mother. My dad, on the other hand, is stuck with her until she passes away. So this is his new wife. So the lady that he was with is his new mom, stepmom.
Got you. And so she seems like a little bit more reasonable than this other mother.
I wonder if they got divorced because of the mom.
Probably.
Also, if I took this back to my room, do you think anyone would notice?
No.
Because Sam fought me on this so hard.
It's not even in the other, our studio now.
I might take it back.
Wait, go to your full thing?
Yeah.
It's not even in the camera.
Guys, Sam wanted this to be in here for so long. He fought it. I got this for free, and he bought me another one.
Is the other one not good?
No, that one's fine. It's just this is mine.
Didn't he give it to you?
This one? No, April gave this to me.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he took it from me and put it in here. He would go in my room, take it, and put it in here.
I thought that was originally him.
No.
No.
I gave it to. I originally did try to give it to him. He didn't want it in his room, so I put it in my room.
I see.
So, his new wife, my stepmom. My dad and my stepmom got engaged during New Year's of 2019-2020. They planned on a 1-year engagement, mostly because they wanted to get it over with since they've been together for about 8 to 9 years. Getting married at this point was just formality to tie things together. When they announced the date, they set it for Grandma's birthday.
Ooh, no one likes Grandma. Moral of the story, Grandma sucks. And they're going to make sure that she gets what she deserves.
Yeah. Okay, everyone's like, what is it? Okay, can you zoom out? It's a lamp. Yeah, just zoom out. We're going to have to zoom out.
Here, I can do it in mine. Look, wait, pull it, put on me. It's a
lamp.
See?
It's a lamp.
It's
You
a
just
lamp.
wanted to flex. You wanted to show off.
It's really nice. It's really nice. Okay.
It's just a lamp.
Sorry, it's not even in here. It's just for the vibes of the room.
Yeah.
When they announced the date, they set it for Grandma's birthday. Okay, this is the worst thing you could do to yourselves. Why would you do that? She was ecstatic at first until she realized her birthday would have to be shared. In private, she witched to her gaggle of cronies about the wedding being on her birthday.
Yeah, it's on purpose. It's on purpose.
The vid hit, and the wedding got pushed
Oh,
back
dang
to
it.
2022 with a different date.
Her next birthday.
Instead, it was now on my stepmom's mom's birthday.
Why are you doing it on people's birthdays?
Yeah, what's up with this?
Why? Just do
There
it
were
another
other
day.
days in the year.
Yeah.
Her mom had long passed. They figured this was a good way to include her.
All right, makes sense now.
Cue the usual nagging. How dare she make it about her mother? By this point, my dad had grown a backbone and started putting his mom in his place. Maybe it's his sobriety.
Sobriety.
What's that?
Like when you don't drink, like being sober.
Sobriety.
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 Maybe it was his sobriety, or maybe it was because he'd been through one wedding and wasn't about to go through a third. Grandma tried her usual tactics, trying to butt in and make things about her. It had to be her way, but with a few tongue lashes, it stopped until it came to me. Over the vid, I gained about 50 pounds due to stress and pain. I had a lot going on that resulted in me being overweight. Since then, I've been turning that weight into muscle. But then back then, I still had a lot of muscle definition. In fact, I had huge swimmer shoulders, which made it difficult to find some dresses. My stepmom wanted simple black dresses for us. We could decide the style. It just had to be black with open shoulders. I coordinated with my stepsister to make sure we got the same dress. Grandma, however, wanted me to get a different dress, one that was frilly, not black, gold, even cream. I immediately declined. I knew what she was trying to do. The only reason she was even dress shopping with me was because I was 13, couldn't drive,
She's trying to trick you.
and didn't have my stepmom's card like she did. I picked out the same dress as my stepsister and got it in black. It needed to be special to order since it didn't have my size. They had one smaller and one bigger, so I was able to try those on and get approximate fit. Grandma did not like the dress. Who would have thought?
Who could have thunk? She's like, it doesn't look like a wedding dress enough. And then I need you to bring me along and we're going to steal all of the spotlight from the wedding. You're part of my plan now. Katara Rain says, get Grammy a blog or something with all of them opinions.
Yo.
Literally.
Yeah, she can be like that dog.
What dog?
Dog with a blog.
Dog with a blog. Throwback. Clinton.
Grandma did not like the dress. It was simple, flowy skirt that hit the ankles, and the buoyants crossed over for a little design. For the most part, it was modest. The only thing really shown was my face and arms. Grandma didn't like that my arms were exposed because people could see my strawberry skin and my muscles. She said it made me look like a man, like a log.
What? That's like a compliment. Like you're like, oh yeah, let's see them. Like you. Yeah. Like thanks, Grandma. I've been working out.
Thanks, I've been actually working on myself.
Thank you. How about you? What you look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Dang, don't cross Keon. He'll call you out like you look.
Notre Dame.
She said it made me look like a man, like a log. She told me I was too fat for it. While she put me down, I didn't care. I sent a picture to my stepmom, and she loved it. I told Grandma this was the dress we were going with, and that was final. When we put in the order ticket, she tried to order a different style in the color she wanted. I'd already talked to the worker beforehand and warned them, hey, she's going to pull this. You put down what I say, not what she says, because she will ruin this wedding. I don't think the worker took me seriously at first until they saw how Grandma was acting. Finally, the dress shopping was done. And then it was to shoe shopping. And you think, maybe the dress was the hardest part, right? We got done doing dress shopping.
It's going to get harder.
Getting shoes isn't going to be that bad, right?
This is the peak. This is the climax. The hill that you're going to die on. That you're going to pass away on.
I believe it. My stepmom had specific style in mind. Black flats with a pointed toe.
Easy, you would think, right?
In general, I have trouble finding shoes. I wear a size 6 in women's, but I have wide feet, so it's a struggle. We had to go to 3 different shoe stores to just find a pair. Grandma was angry and made weird comments about my feet. Don't know why. Like, I have my dad's fat feet, but my mom's shoe size? She finds the weirdest things to comment about. After shopping, Grandma wanted to get lunch. I didn't, so I told her I had an obligation. She then proceeded to call me a disappointment for not thinking of my grandmother, saying she hadn't seen me in a while and that she deserved to have dinner with her grandkid.
It seems like you don't like your grandkid, though, you know? But I guess, like, if you hate everyone, you got to take what you can get. And right now she's only got familial obligation as a way to get people to hang out with her.
Yeah. Gosh, dude. I walked home. I didn't want to deal with her. And then the shopping plaza was barely a mile away. A few weeks later, my dress arrived, and we needed to go back to get it hemmed. I planned on just going with my mom, but in true grandma fashion, she butt in and took me instead. I simply bowed my head and took things in stride. At the time, I was experimenting with my hair. I talked with my stepmom about how she wanted it since I was planning on cutting off a lot of length and dyeing it. My stepmom was like, I don't effing care. Do what you want. So I got this boyish cut and dyed it cool red to match my mom. Grandma did not like this. Oh no, she did
Or
not.
she didn't.
She said I looked even more like a man and a log.
A log?
That's what she said earlier. You look like a man and a log in that dress.
Hope he can't catch a break with his grandma, man.
She called me a slur and demanded to know why I had done something so drastic without consulting her. Now I'm curious.
Actually being homophobic. No, she probably called her a D-slur because she's saying that she looks like a man.
Noted.
Homophobia, grandma, not cool.
I thought it was something with the red hair.
A ginger?
Yeah. Isn't that a slur?
No.
Noted. That's not a slur, guys. I took in her comments about my hair in stride and ignored her. One of the most positives of being deaf. I just can turn off my hearing aids. Oh, she's also deaf.
Oh.
Yo, all right.
You're just like, ding. She's like, and you're like, and she's like,
dude, that's crazy. It's also crazy you didn't mention it earlier, right?
yeah, she never, I mean, I guess it wasn't relevant.
I guess until now. Dang. Finally, I didn't have to see her again until the wedding. Once everything was finalized, I was done dealing with her. The wedding day arrived. Grandma complained about the decorations, saying everything was too vintage. She complained that the hotel wasn't a church. How dare my stepmom not get married in a church? It was held at the Landmark in American, Michigan, if you're wondering. I ignored her comments and didn't bother telling my dad or stepmom. I just wanted things to go smoothly. We went to get our hair done, and while I was in the chair, I could hear my grandma complaining about how I destroyed my hair. My stepmom shut her up and changed the subject.
Nice.
Dude, stepmom. Let's go.
She's batting for you, man. She's like, you know what? Shut up, grandma. That's my stepdaughter.
Shut up. During the wedding, everything was relatively quiet with her. A few comments here and there, but she was almost nice.
She's about to start something, man. She's planning something.
She almost said, "You look great, OP."
She was like, you look, OP. OP was like, you know what? That's the nicest thing she's ever said to me.
you look OP. Oh, that's great. During the wedding. When it came...
Kimberly Fine says, get rid of the most vintage thing. Grandma.
Yeah.
Bye.
Dust in the wind.
You just... When it came time to put on the dress, we realized I had the wrong size pantyhose. We had accidentally bought a child size large instead of a women's large. Ooh.
It would be quite
That's
small.
embarrassing. I was like remembering the times I put pantyhose on my head as a kid while doing my mom's laundry. And we were like, we're going to rob you. I did it, guys. I did it. She's back. I did it. I was just going to go without them since the skirt was long enough. But Grandma offered me a pair of hers with the comment, I highly doubt they'll fit someone your size, but you can try. They fit. The wedding went smoothly. She didn't wear white, but she dressed like she was going to a funeral.
She's like, I can't believe my son.
An extremist grandmother here.
Yeah, she's like, I only do white and black, okay?
I don't do this
you
great
can
stuff.
you can have funeral or me also going to the wedding as the bride, and that's it. Take your pick. I don't do color, okay?
As if she were mourning and not attending her son's wedding.
And Bella says, what are pantyhose? They're like sheer tights, I guess, or like nude tights, basically, like clear tights.
What? I thought every woman had.
No.
Do you have them?
No. I have tights. I don't have like pantyhose are usually out thinner. It's just to kind of give you like a nice color, like smooth.
All right.
Smoothness
Noted.
on your legs.
What do you think old guys have?
What does that mean?
A necklace with a
tie?
ring on it? A tie? Okay.
A hat?
True.
Do.
Fair.
It's true, probably.
At the reception, she made a few comments about how I wasn't ladylike. Little did she know. How I should have ordered the... Oh, little did she know. She dropping hints there, OP.
Little did she know.
And how I should have ordered the salmon instead of the steak. And I went on quietly. The reception was supposed to last until 11 p.m. with an hour for cleanup.
That's such a weird that she's like, it's not ladylike to eat steak. Must eat salmon.
Yeah, dude.
I'm killing it, man.
You are killing it. I just made me think of Angie because she likes eating the steak I make, and I miss her now. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was just thinking of women eating steak. I'm like, oh yeah, my girl. Anyways,
Steak sounds so good.
I'll have to cook you guys some. One thing about me, I tend to go to bed early, around 8 to 9 p.m. Since we were staying in the hotel, it wasn't like I had to walk or drive anywhere. I mentioned wanting to go back to the room to sleep, and my grandma denied me. But guys, we will not deny you more stories just like this. Where do you have to go, Sophia, for more stories like this?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio.
What is the magic word they have to type with their keyboard?
Okay, story time.
And what will be waiting for them right there?
Us. And full episodes.
Stories
with us.
Just like this.
And stories just like this.
You might hear different voices, but we're all in your head, and yes, we're real people.
We're real. We're real people, okay?
Yes. And any thoughts about this grandma?
Dude, this grandma is a nightmare. I would just honestly, I would limit the amount of time you have to talk to her.
Yeah.
No one likes her. So can we just go kind of low contact?
I think that might be the best thing to do here.
Yeah. She's just so
block her.
exhausting.
Yikes. Don't get married as much, too. Or wait and get married.
Don't get married so much. Don't invite her to the weddings.
Yikes. You've had to go through this twice.
Yeah.
Eventually, 10:30 rolled around, and I was cranky and exhausted. I had been awake since 5:30 a.m., and just wanted to sleep. Sounds like someone I know. Grandma finally told me I ought to be grateful to be part of this wedding, that I should learn to be more ladylike, and that I should just suck it up. Took me crying and begging before my stepmom stepped in and told her to give me a room key so I could go to bed. Finally changed and went to sleep, only to have the worst night of the rest of my life because Grandma kept waking me up.
Oh my God.
She woke me up at 11, helped clean, and then almost every dang hour after that, tell me to turn around, tell me to stop snoring. I was exhausted, and I slept the entire 7.5 hour car ride home.
Leave this girl alone.
Yeah, please.
Leave her alone.
Please. Apart from her, everything else in the wedding was beautiful and fantastic. Thank you for hearing my ranting. I'm apologizing for formatting, spelling, dyslexia, and all that jazz. As a dyslexic person, this was probably the easiest story I've read all week.
Surprised. Man, oh man.
Gosh, dude.
Your grandma is a stinker.
There's a special place for this grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where.
The DMV.
Oh, wow. That's the worst thing.
I think this grandma does deserve to sit at DMV for 3 days a week.
She just has to stay at the DMV. That's her punishment.
She just has to sit there
and wait
and get her license.
And they call her up and they're like, "Oh, you're missing some documents, so you have to go back and get them." And she's like, "What?"
And she comes back.
And she does the test and she misses it by one question.
And it's just like, dang. And they're like, "Sorry, gonna have to come back in again."
Goodness gracious. Guys, we got some more stories here. Whoa! Josephine Mandolo Miller Payne Donner has donated $5. Can we just show some love for Riley? Because in his moments like this, you can truly see his emotional intelligence. He says some wildly out-of-pocket things sometimes, and sometimes he sounds like he has the wisdom and life experience of an 80-year-old man.
So true.
Thank you, Josephine. That is probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
That's so sweet. What should you do if you meet a giant? Use big words.
Joke for the Tomlet. Why was the belt arrested? For holding up a pair of pants.
Hey, Katarain, get off to a new start. Come out of your shell.
Josephine says, thank you for the 65 sec. Grandma only dresses in PD. Borderline, only black or white.
Corey Faye, did you hear about the bossy man at the bar? He ordered everyone around.
And Purple Trader, thanks for the $3 and the pear punching the air.
Corey Faye, at this very moment, you can change the rest of your life. Raina or Rena, I was excited to hear Apple might start selling its own cars until I learned they wouldn't support Windows. And Persegriba, what's the difference between the bird flu and the swine flu? One requires treatment and the other an ointment.
Wow.
Boom.
That was great. All right, guys. We got a story for the queen. Sorry, friend. I'm sorry I didn't have it ready. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Sophia tries to get in some punches whenever she can. She's like, Riley! That's my alarm clock. Waking up with a concussion.
That's terrible. This is not true.
Man. Not true. Groundhog Day, but the DMV. Okay, I'll take that.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Oh my God, Groundhog Day with the DMV. But you could just leave the DMV.
Randy Joe, would it be okay for you to show the drawings? Show chat the drawings? Yeah, you can show chat the drawings. Oh, do you want us to?
Let's do it. And then I will need my break. My in-laws treat me like garbage, so we moved away.
They're taking themselves out of the equation.
Yep, take the trash out. So back in 2022, we moved out of state where my family and most of my husband's family live, to another state to be closer to his evil dad. And the Wicked Witch of the West. By the way, this comes from Kate the Great on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So we packed up everything and our baby girl to relocate to be closer to family who we thought cared about us. Well, you thought wrong.
he thought we cared about you.
Father-in-law bought a condo in this state 1 hour away from his house to play bridge with old folks. He said we could live there with the stipulation that we had to attend monthly finance classes, which he was in charge of. We could disagree or agree with any advice given. We just had to attend. And the father-in-law did that. Okay. At first, father-in-law agreed to pay to break our lease and cover all moving costs. It slipped his mind the week of the move, but my husband let it go because he just wanted everything to start with a clean slate. I, however, kept a mental note of it. The day of our move, after packing the huge moving truck, our car, and our baby, we started on our way for a several-hour car ride to the condo. We were 10 minutes away from our new home when we hydroplaned.
No.
The accident was minor. We just jumped a curb. No one was hurt. And the accident didn't involve any other cars. Note, we are a one-car family, so my SO doesn't drive for personal reasons. This has never bothered me and never will because I get extremely car sick if I'm not behind the wheel. We finally get home, unpack, call insurance, etc. We had to drive a rental for 1 month as my car is getting fixed. At the first financial meeting, my father-in-law lays into me about how if I hadn't used Google Maps and followed his directions instead, that the accident wouldn't have ever happened.
I will agree with that. Google Maps is kind of whack sometimes.
But how does that even make sense? They hydroplaned. They didn't take a wrong turn.
Guess who knows about puddles in the road? Apple Maps, Waze. It detects puddles in the road.
I'm trying to remember if Apple's ever done
This
that.
is sarcasm.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yep.
Okay.
Because they have an apple, and apples come from water, so thus they know where all the water is on the roads.
Interesting.
Dang, I could have gotten away with that. I shouldn't
Yeah,
have
I was
said
like, what? How do they detect puddles? He said, there are only 2 people I will never ride with in a car again. My 83-year-old mom and you, meaning me. I'm a 26-year-old female who drives a manual, and I've been driving since I could get behind the wheel of a car.
Dude, sounds like Baby Driver to me.
Yeah. Opie's like, you doubt my driving? My husband and I were shocked. Father-in-law continued to say how I needed to stop being a stay-at-home mom. I could stop being lazy and actually help my husband earn money for our household. He also said there's no reason for SO to not to drive. He needs his license. This pile of crap of person did not hold back. Just went on and on about how it's my fault we had to pay $1,000+ on a car rental, car repairs, Uber fees, etc. for the last month because of the accident. The insurance company and my husband both said that I did everything to prevent what happened. I was even going way below the speed limit while it was raining. It was without a doubt 100% out of my control. Anywho, the meeting ends with not much else said and they leave. One of the other rules to us living in their new space is that we can't bring out 1.5-year-old into the complex pool. Well, because that wasn't written in our lease and it's not in the building sublease, I decided after this one-sided screaming match to do it anyway. Keep in mind, we did have a 12-month written lease with father-in-law and the building his condo was in, so I take our daughter swimming as a quiet FU because he's not gonna know, it's fine. One day I'm uploading photos on our family shared album and accidentally add a photo of us at the pool.
No!
Dude, you told on yourself?
No!
My father-in-law instantly calls my SO and curses him out, saying I'm disrespectful and ungrateful, that I did this on purpose, and that I'm now, after just one, kicked out of all the financial meetings because I can't be trusted. Thank goodness. I didn't want to get crap on or listen to his crap anyway. So life goes on with a slap on the wrist and no more pool. That is according to my father-in-law. I keep going anyways. Nice. Just don't send him more pictures of you at the pool. I have since befriended most of the neighbors we have, all elderly, all nice. Everyone simply adores our baby and everything is going good. One day I'm in the lobby library reading, talking to the president of HOA and mentioning that there's been light miscommunication about the pool and baby. She laughs, probably because she's gone swimming up with us multiple times, and asks what's going on. Well, the floodgates open. I tell her everything, leaving no stone unturned. I had extreme postpartum depression, so I was extremely emotional at the time, in a new state with no friends and no knowledge about the area we were in. She was shocked. She said at the next HOA meeting she would cast a vote for the only rule, written in 1979, no joke, they haven't edited leases in that long, regarding small children. It literally says no children in regular diapers can enter the pool. She said, my grandchildren come over all the time with swim diapers. LOL. This rule was written before swim diapers were widely circulated. Of course you're all welcome. This was like a breath of fresh air.
Okay, we're starting to see a little light at the end of the tunnel.
So fast forward another month, my SO and father-in-law are having their first solo meeting. Apparently, the HOA president caught father-in-law on his way up the elevator and cleared the air about the pool situation. When he arrived at our door, he grabbed SO, took him on the back deck, then laid into him like there was no tomorrow, stating that he thought he made himself perfectly clear. There was to be no more swimming at all by anyone now. By anyone now? You can't tell them to not swim at the... You don't own the pool. You literally don't own the pool. You can't tell them not to swim.
What is this person's authority over the pool again?
He's the so this is their father-in-law who is the landlord.
Got it. Okay.
But there is I think it's they own a complex, or they own a what's the word? Not an apartment, but a
complex.
No. When you can own a specific apartment in a complex, whatever that's called. I can't remember the word. But it seems like that's the situation. And then the complex has its own pool.
Okay.
But he doesn't own the pool.
Weird.
Did I care? No, because legally by either lease, he had no grounds to evict us from the property he was letting us rent on. So, he was so red with anger, but I was 2 mixed drinks ahead of him and feeling pretty great. I had condo, thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
You were looking for condo? I thought you just said condo.
No, I said complex. Condo is the word I was looking for. I had just won the first of many family fights. As more and more crazy things like that started to unfold, my husband slowly started to be on my side, finally. You would think that he would have realized, that his father was being crazy way before. In their little meetings, his dad continued to crap on me for not having a job. Oh, she could work from home. It's not like she's been doing anything during the day anyway. It would be easy, says father-in-law. Oh, I'm sorry, is cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner, making baby food, cleaning the house, making sure our budget, not the crap he came up with, is followed, grocery shopping, doing laundry, dishes, and spending time teaching and loving our baby not enough for you? I think this is the husband saying that or something. No, tough crap. Husband and I actually already agreed that I would be a stay-at-home mom and take care of literally everything else since we could afford it. Fast forward more time and we've been living at this place for only 6 months. Father-in-law gives husband homework for meetings that are all based on hypothetical nonsense, not even related to our real income or real budget. Changes due to due dates, tells his son he isn't serious about anything and ends up cursing him out via email because we are stealing from them. We are ungrateful for anything that has been given to us, and we're both lazy sacks of crap and that we're horrible, terrible parents. Dude, if that doesn't show your husband how crazy his dad is, then I don't know what will.
Yeah, you're blind.
At this point, they're sick of us and we're sick of them. Keep in mind, they didn't pay for moving, breaking lease, moving out later, and we were paying them rent. We never asked for anything, ever. All meetings put to an end, and we decide to move out ASAP because we can't stand another word from this human being. So we move again, have to stay within this new state because my husband's new job is here. After other instances, lots of booze and therapy, my husband and I are still doing great in our marriage and feel sorry for them, but from a long distance. And from a short distance or a long distance, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. But there is a teensy bit left to the story. But do you have any thoughts?
Katrina Rain. He's a control freak.
Katara Rain.
Katara Rain. He's a control freak.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy that he thinks that, I understand if he has certain rules about his condo, but he can't make rules about a public pool. He can tell OP the rules for the public pool, but it's really just up to whoever's managing the pool.
Hence the word public.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he can have his rules. Just keep them to himself.
Yeah,
there we go.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Easy as that.
There have since been things that have been said and issues with these awful people. Even one point where father-in-law contacted the FBI to report us for swimming. Even longer story. Both of us can just laugh at all this and don't regret anything. We have zero contact with them for about a year now. Honestly, probably a good idea. Feels great. We are still in the same state, but nowhere near them. They can keep that Delulu far, far away. So all of this to say, I know crazy is crazy and it will come out eventually, but am I the a-hole for starting and being petty after I was crapped on in the first meet? And that is the end of that story. You're not the a-hole. Your in-laws are wacky.
And you deserve to live a little life.
You deserve to swim with your child.
Yeah, everyone should have a pool day.
Pool day, man.
But that's the end of that story.
And the end of this episode.
So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.